They're the only aircells we have around.
Just yeah, yours, mine, and Jimmy Deegan. Just make enough.
That's what I do.
I'll leave this one
on the frame. Now.
And this?
No, I leave it over in the guard van now.
Oh yes, right. Oh, you're going over now, are you?
Yeah.
Right.
So the jersey's here, and that'll be over there.
Right.
You only got a load of this, I have to give it back.
Is that my one, is it?
I only got a load of it.
We did a great job in his hand. We did a great job in his hand.
No, you're so well. We never left us.
See, we're not going back there, it's 20 more than I'm plugging away.
Ah, yeah, of course.
Do you remember?
You're trimming down the road.
That's how the fireman was still up in the van, on that. How long are you there, then?
He hit the brakes, didn't he? I'm not forgetting it.
Shocking for the time.
Although I suppose you never even knew what hit him.
He didn't know, but it was several for his name.
Oh,
He didn't know. From West of the Dublin, he would have opened Dublin directly. And during the day, then we went out to Bray, or we went out to Ross Lair.
yeah, I remember that. Wow. I remember them in the 50s, the late 50s.
Yeah, I don't hear that, right?
I only saw one of these in Steam once. I was going to Wexford in the car with moving them. We were shedding out of these now. There's no checking out of them. One of these came along the bus. I don't know which one. One or two.
Did you get down for? Brand new one, didn't you?
that's what I had in my head. But I mean, coming out the door while the white pitch. Also for the white pitch control. What? The white pitch for the rest stuff. Yeah.
I don't know that. Oh, yeah. That's about Dave Water. I think we met down in Rosslare.
Rosslare, yeah, that's what it was, yeah. Managing director of our trail. That's right, we met at I just
So the railway timetable actually will follow down airline. Have you?
Back there, please. Back from the edge, please. Back from the edge, please. Of the way in which it has been refurbished and restored to such beauty, and it's a wonderful train.
Train travel, do you like it?
I do very much, and I've been pleased to travel as president on the train in the presidential coach. I think it's a great way to travel.
And the presidential coach is hitched onto a scheduled
It's hitched
train?
onto the scheduled train, and in fact it allows you to arrive at your destination fresh and ready for whatever duties.
We must say to you, congratulations. Well, Nicholas was with Audrey last night when he won the prize. Did he go to school today for a start?
He went to school this morning, yes.
You didn't let him off on account of winning this big prize for writing it?
No.
Okay, and you're going to travel to Dunleary.
That's right, yes, and I think it will be a wonderful experience. I'm hoping to have an opportunity to inspect the train first, just to make sure it's in full working order, but I believe it is.
And not only the train, but the men who drove her this morning and fired her with all the difficult work are in great form as well. Luke Rana here and Gurumina Mahagut. Gareth Fitzgerald, I know, and we all know that you have great interest in airline timetables, but we didn't believe you were interested in railway timetables or railways, but you are Vice President of the Railway Preservation Society of Ireland.
That's right. Well, I was asked after I ceased to carry out other duties as Taoiseach if I would join the society. I was very happy to do so. They do wonderful work.
There's some phone there, President. Is the one for another pair of gloves? Yeah, they'd be bang there. There's more. There's a pack up there. There's more.
Jack, did you go out to the back of her? Yeah, then you can talk from here. Right, okay. Nick, come forward, gentlemen. That's it. Just lean out. That's it. Oh, the lady has the balls. We have our...
Yeah. And it's still the concept of trade.
Okay, hand down.
You're obviously impressed with the performance here today.
I'm very impressed and really delighted to share in the sense of excitement of it.
Have you been an admirer of these types of
I have in a romantic way. I think this is the image of a train. I'm not an expert, but I've learned a lot today. I've learned, for example, that this was in 1922 was purchased for £19,000. Was that right? 19,923 pounds. And apparently this is the oldest train commuter train in the world from here to Dundee. So we're going on this lovely train on the oldest route in the world. So that in itself is a sense of excitement. I think it's a great tribute to the voluntary effort that has gone in to the preservation and sustaining of this part of our heritage.
older than ourselves.
A little older than ourselves, but the same age as the Free State, if you think about it.
Enjoy the trip anyway.
Thank you very much indeed.
That's good to get that in there. Thank you very much. We're up to take off
How it looks.
Oh, sorry, I just wanted to... Yes. Watch these shooting. Make sure.
How are you? Well, I must say, could you have put on a nicer day?
The weather's good anyway. The weather's good anyway.
Seems right. Not bad. Thank you. That's fine. Stay on it. Why would you? But I was actually amazed when I walked along at the number of carriages pulling back. I mean, you said that because there really is one straight.
Yeah, just here. Ron, Matt Kavanagh would like to... I'm very sorry. Thank you. Look at that. That involves moving from Carlisle here down to Manchester. You don't get Manchester, you can't car first now.
Sure, yeah, go ahead there, yes.
Because the Ramsey the way for us, I think.
Fade away, please.
Looking at the weather on there.
They don't look at the train.
back today. It was a great journey. I enjoyed every minute of it. Hello.
You get these?
Try and keep something, and what they've done in selecting and keeping steam locomotives and vintage carriages can be seen as the Society's trains own steam excursions over the railway networks of Erin Road, Erin and Northern Ireland Railways. The Society is, I think, unique in operating these services on the main lines of the normal railway system. Other societies operate their own systems within branches in various parts of the country, but it's only here you can see these engines, these locomotives and carriages operating over the ordinary routes of the railway system. It's important for tourism. 25,000 passengers last year, of whom a proportion come from overseas. There's a contribution to tourism, and there are several international events this year which the Society is cooperating. The DC's tour to Waterford in May, and the Limerick Treaty 300 tour in September. Another development that arises from the work of the Society, I think, is the fact that other railways are being pioneered in Downpatrick and Tuam and Tralee. Services are being started up. People who've been inspired, I think, by the work of the Society on a national basis and on an all-island basis. The Society also makes a significant contribution to the film industry. The availability of steam engines and carriages makes it possible for films to be made here which could not otherwise be made here, and that is quite important. And a number of them have been made, and indeed, for those who have not seen The Great Train Robbery, it's on UTV tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. I should have to give us an unwhipped half an hour before the door ends to see the film tomorrow night. Overall, the contribution of the Society is, I think, very significant. I've been associated with it only in a very marginal and limited way, only for a brief period of time. I'm the last person in the Society who's entitled to be prominent on a day like this, because I'm aware of the enormous work that's done by people voluntarily to get the system working. And I read the minutes of the meetings of the Society at regular intervals, and I'm impressed and at times appalled by the amount of work that has to be done in order to have these carriages operating throughout the country. I'm glad that it has to be attributed to that, and while I have a position in society, I'm sufficiently outside it all to be able to say objectively what marvellous job I think has been done. I'd like now to make a small presentation of a volume of the President, if I was given it by purpose, to commemorate the trip. The engine is one which must have hauled me in and out from Bray to Harcourt Street at one stage on its occasional passenger trips. I remember the tram trains as well, because I lived in Bray before the war and had many trips, so that it's a particular pleasure for me to offer you this memento of the inaugural trip, number 461. Before I contribute to the restoration of this locomotive, I'm presenting the chairman, Lord Glannon, a framed picture of the locomotive. Where is Michael? There you are. Thank you.
I must say I'm really delighted to have been invited here today as guest of honour on the wonderful trip from Pearse Street Station to Dundee in Locomotive 461. When I was elected President, I was a little bit taken aback, very surprised at the number of people who in one way or another said to me, enjoy it, enjoy it. It's quite amazing how often this is what people, they still say it, enjoy it. And I have to say that this has been one of the most enjoyable mornings and days of celebration, because I think we all have a romantic love of the steam locomotive, and what a very fine, beautiful train to not only have the opportunity to travel in, but I was able to get into the engine or into the back of it and inspect and see in what beautiful condition it's in, and the enthusiasm of the drivers, and indeed the enthusiasm of everybody here. I was introduced to a number of people, all described as workers, and I think I understand what that means, that a great deal of voluntary work goes into the preservation and indeed the maintenance of a very important part of our heritage. I think a part that is very dear to us. Certainly I've been delighted to take the opportunity to travel by train, to travel in the presidential coach, as I did to Cork when I was receiving the freedom of Cork, and as I've done to Galway, and as I intend to do again, because it's in fact a very good way to travel, and it also I think underlines the values. I've been delighted to see so many people here from Northern Ireland and to know how strongly the Railway Preservation Society of Ireland is supported, and indeed enthusiastically I think a great deal of leadership has been given in the north of Ireland. I'm also very pleased to meet the representative of the Tuam equivalent. I have to speak for the west of Ireland as well. Very important. And indeed to have met the representatives of the railway museums. Again, I think this is a very important dimension. And I must just mention one other man that I had the pleasure of meeting this morning, Mr. Murray. You may be surprised that I mentioned him. He told me that he remembers he was standing in Pearse Street Station when this train was delivered in 1922. And I think that's he's involved in railway records, and I think that's a wonderful memory to have, the day this train was delivered in 1922, and to be with us today and to celebrate a very graceful coming of age again of number 461. So I'd be delighted to be here. Ermina Mahagid Giller.
Your Excellency, I have been very brief. On behalf of the National Heritage Council, which is really you, everybody in the room, because it's public money that we dispense, I'm most grateful to have this, which will hang in the National Heritage Council office which is immediately above the Taoiseach's office. My old friend Gareth Fitzgerald, I discovered the way to the helicopter pad. And if I go out through the fire escape, come the revolution, I can get in first. Thank you very much for a most enjoyable day, and thank you for the presentation.
Completes the formality.
Certainly